I'm working for you.
Oh, okay.
If you are set, you let me know. Are you set?
I'm set. Good morning, our dear listeners all over the region and beyond. We are streaming live on Facebook on the Kwaku Bawine handle. This is Radio Mark 105.5 as usual every Friday at 10 o'clock. The Son of Man is here. The Son of Man was a principal security analyst for the National Security Council of Ghana and was also in the external intelligence business and was an operative and an analyst outside for so many years. And so anytime I'm talking about my issues, a lot of it is about security. And I also take it from the angle where the various diplomatic missions, analyze issues in the countries where they are resident. So that you see that we have diplomatic missions in Ghana. Whatever is affecting you affects them in one way or the other. And that is why they keep, analyzing issues. Don't think that whatever is happening in Ghana now is just our matter. They also have a way of analyzing issues and then send the same to their countries, because whatever happens, impacts on them. And that is why we must, strengthen our intelligence gathering, apparatus and machinery, and do a lot of intelligence work. It appears that in the intelligence work we have not resourced the intelligence agencies like the NIB, and then the other agencies that are there. But principally the National Investigations Bureau or Intelligence Bureau, they should be well resourced. You cannot have a NIB officer manage a whole district. He probably hasn't got a car. He should have a durable car. Our politicians like to buy the most expensive cars, but you don't seem to care about your own security. Right from 1966, I was around and I saw a lot of upheavals. And from about 69, I've been in the security business with Afrifa was then there. A few weeks later, I handed over to Buzia, and I've been an analyst all the way up to Mills. So I have know what is happening. We treat intelligence and security in a very lackadaisical manner. Look at the CID. The CID and the police should be well resourced so that the CID in particular does not sit and do investigations as a post facto type of investigations bureau. In those days we read very romantic pieces of information and stories about detectives. About detectives, we were very, very young, they were so wonderful how detectives, were able to uncover so many things, but now the detectives that we have, we don't resource them. You go their offices, sometimes the typewriters, the pens, the pencils, the papers, and all that. There were times, especially in the 50s and the 60s, it was a glamorous thing to be, a detective. You could even infiltrate into a corps of smugglers and armed robbers, and then they do your work there. That is what is to be done. But all what we do is we do not resource them. We do not resource them. And this is an issue we have been talking about for years. I remember all the way from 1969. We kept on talking to, the taskmaster. And who is the taskmaster? The taskmaster is the government of the day. You tell that these things are very important. So our NIB should be well resourced to do a lot of research work and not to come and use or misuse them to be chasing the political opponents. And when we set up electronic surveillance systems, we use it for political reasons. And I'm going to try to tell you why it is defeatist for us to use our intelligence agencies. It's only a political lesson. When people are somewhere, there are people, we call it the deep state. They are in certain countries. They are determined that Africa does not develop. They are determined. Just a few days ago, I read a few things about Ghana setting up a gold refinery, and Burkina Faso is also doing the same. Then they analyze, when we do it, we'll add value. I just looked at it. The person who wrote it only ended at that, and I laughed. I said, look at this. Look at this. That they will add value. So that's what we are thinking of. We don't do it like that. You see, but of course, I don't have to blame the person who made the statement, because he is not security and intelligence conscious. You don't look at what value will accrue to you. You know that when you refine it, you are depriving someone else from refining it, who has been refining it for years and has been struggling to prevent you from refining your gold. So it's not a question of talking about what you are going to gain by refining and adding value to your gold, but to find out who is going to be hurt and what will he do. You think he's going to sit down? Are our intelligence agencies equipped to do this type of work? Do we have any institutions that will do this type of work? For example, those who are refining the thing, the vice president went and opened the refinery. Did you ask the intelligence agencies or a particular institution, look, okay, these are the positives of what we would derive from it. So what else is there? If we get smart persons who have been exposed to external intelligence work, internal intelligence work, and know how the deep state works. The deep state is the various intelligence agencies outside and some very influential people. By this, I'm talking of the intelligence agencies of America and the European countries. They are determined that they have one objective in life. Whoever is their head of state, you have to follow that. If you don't, they will sabotage you. They can even kill you. And one of the things is this: if Africa develops, America and especially Europe will collapse within 10 years. It will be reduced. So anytime you are setting up something, you should not only say, oh, Ghana is refining gold. You see, this government has refining gold. That's not enough. It's nonsense. Do our intelligence agencies, do they have the experts? Do they have a section that will analyze it and advise the government that when you do this, they are going to sabotage you? I remember some years back, I was even outside the country when there was an arrangement for India to give a magazine also at Swami in the Kumasi, a machine that could make engine blocks. I wrote a report from outside. that the West will sabotage this machine, because immediately you start making engine blocks, you have the minerals in your country, you start making engine blocks, that will prevent you from exporting them. So they will sabotage it. They sabotaged it. How many Ghanaians remember this? And this was about 30, 40 years ago. I wrote that report. I said, they sat down. What this man talking? You see, when the consciousness is not there, you will be talking. Oh, no. It's very sad. It's very sad. Sometimes you see people that he's an economist, a professor of economics. Look at this, look at this man. He's unconscious. Look, all what you are saying, it is going to take some small boy, young man, in one of these intelligent agents to sabotage and destroy you. To sabotage and destroy you. And sometimes we make remarks, they are so reckless, they are so careless. It is because those who make them are not aware. It does not matter whether you are this or no. It's a different ball game altogether. And if we do not equip our external intelligence agency and set up strong bureaus who will come out and say what is the West and Europe, the rest of the world, the industrial language, what are they thinking of Ghana and Africa? If you don't think of that, you will never come out of the quagmire of indebtedness, poverty, squalor, and the rest of these things that make them collect things from you, go and better themselves and insult you on top. I'm telling you, people are not looking at it that way. You only come to power and say, NIB, go and arrest this man, train him, National Signals Authority, come on, follow this man, find out what he's saying. No, that's not it. That is not it. Are they able, the National Signals Authority, able to find out some businessmen have come? What have they come to do? And most of them are saboteurs. They are coming to prevent you from doing anything good. This is not the first time we have talked about having a refinery in Ghana. This is not the first time. And you see, their work is so sophisticated that they can do it without your own knowledge. You've set up this sugar factory, Komenda. What has happened? And it is not working. And we think it's politics. You see, when you think it is only politics, you are a liar. You do not know that amongst the people, even those in government, these people, they have people there. They have recruited them and they will use them to influence decision making and the policy directions. You don't know this. If you don't know that, you are wasting your time. So, Commandant Sugar Factory may not work, and you say it is the MPP. But it is about the MPP. They themselves, they don't know why they have taken certain decisions. They do not know. I am the one telling you, somebody can be deep inside there. But he's being manipulated by sources using what we call cutouts. The cutouts are such that even the person taking this decision doesn't know that it is the intelligence agencies of America and Europe that are doing that. He wouldn't know because someone else close to him will be suggesting this to him. You will not know. You wouldn't know this. Now, I just heard something about this Ajapade. People are saying we didn't write anything, but when you look at the document, everything is according to what is in the document, which came out years ago. Let me tell you something. The same intelligence agencies can pass this information to some particular people within the Achim area, and they will write it, even they will not know. I'm telling you, that is how it works. They would know that the Western people, they are doing that. And when you have done that, they will get copies of that your document and leak it out and cause confusion for you. You see, so that sophistry and that sophistication is not with us, because within our intelligence and security services, we don't have people thinking about why Africa, Ghana and Africa, they are not developing. Why? Why is this so? Some time ago, the whole of the ECOWAS region wanted to set up a cement factory in Togo because they had the raw material that will make cement. Norway told us to stop. Norway came there and said that we should stop it because they are already making cement, and it was not economically reasonable for you to make cement. And then they came, and when you make cement, your cement will cost this, and then but when you get it from Norway, it will cost far less. And our economists will go to the universities and be polluting and poisoning the young children and students because they are not security conscious. The economy that they teach you, that is not what they are practicing. You take that the economies of scale. It is just simple. When you make this cement in Togo for the whole of West Africa, it will cost, let's say 100 cedis, But when you import from this thing, it will cost 50. They'll tell the student, is it not common sense that you just buy? Is that it? The Chinese have said something. It is better you know how to fish than to wait for somebody to fish and give the fish to you. The person doing that is already holding you. You will be stagnant with your, capacity in the manufacturing of even the machines to make cement, or even making the cement, because you are not used to it. So one day will come, they will tell you, hey, my friends, we are not giving you cement, and there you are. We are not. They will use it against you. You see what America is doing? You just doing it and say, sanctions against you. All the dollars you have in America, we have seized it. That's what they have done to Russia. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. Russian dollar, more than 400 billion. They say they won't give it to Russia. And that even the interest and this thing accrues a lot of interest, will give it rather to Ukraine. And that is why you have this new group coming out, the BRICS. They are coming and say, is it because we are trading dollars? So these people can just at any time get up and say, the dollars that you have in America, Britain, France, Germany and all that, they won't give it to you. We must wake up. Sometimes I see politicians, debating on that, and I laugh at them. I say, look at what they are saying. All what you are talking is nonsense. What is the purpose of the IMF? The purpose of the IMF is to ensure that third world countries, especially Africa and Latin America, you keep borrowing. And as long as you keep borrowing, and you listen to this, anytime you borrow today, 2024, they will tell you to start paying in 2064. That is in 40 years' time. So they have calculated that 40 years they have projected for their children and grandchildren to come and take over from them. You are not going to start to use your resources to make anything. Suppose the whole of Africa refuses to send uranium to Europe, lithium, and all the minerals we have. Can you imagine what will happen there? Unemployment. In Nigeria, Dangote, he put up a fuel refinery, and the whole of Europe is already hot. They are doing everything possible to destroy this factory. It is the third largest factory in the world, costing $20 billion. If Ghana had $20 billion, of course, if the politicians don't steal it, you can imagine what we'll do with it. $20 billion, one man. He has finished the refinery that can refine 650,000 barrels of oil a day. More than 500,000 barrels a day. Now, why it is doing that? What does that mean? Somebody will come. I mean, when I hear economists, but let me tell you the other side. When you are a security analyst, you analyze the information, you evaluate it. Of course, you should have had insight, a lot of knowledge about, the training and experience about what all those things mean. Now, Nigeria is producing close to 3 million barrels of oil a day. Of course, 400,000, almost 500,000 is stolen. And then, people also, because the proceeds and whatever accrues to the state does not trickle to the masses, they have gone and they are puncturing all the oil pipes and making their own crude in the forest. So, if Dangote is going to be allotted 600,000, about 80% of the small refineries in Western Europe will collapse. I repeat, if Nigeria is to provide the 650,000 barrels of oil to Dangote to, sort of crack it, and get diesel, petrol, aviation oil, kerosene, and all those things. 80% of the small factories in Western Europe will collapse. And when they collapse, what does that mean? It means there will be unemployment. When there's unemployment, what does it mean? There will be pressure on the economy because the people demonstrate against the government and they will make government unstable. So their intelligence officers will use all sorts of means to sabotage Dangote. And they can sabotage Dangote by one, using the companies that are lifting the oil. Because the companies that are lifting the oil, look at all these years that foreign companies are lifting oil from the ground in Nigeria. Nigeria didn't work any system to ensure that within a certain time frame, this oil will be drilled by they themselves. When you go to Aramco in Saudi Arabia, Aramco hit a lot of oil in the 1930s, started drilling the oil, and they were cheating the Arabs, the Saudis. That time they hadn't gone to school. They didn't even know the use of oil. What are they carrying this thing for? They quickly came. America quickly gave the king of Saudi Arabia, then King Abdulaziz Al Saud, the founder of the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They gave him a plane. Without an airport, how do you give somebody a plane? Before they went and cleared some fields, and then the plane was landing up here and there. And the Aramco, that is American Arabia Oil Company. And they were paying the Saudis one peswa per 1 barrel of oil. 1 peswa. One big barrel that contains so many gallons, about 45 or 80 gallons. They were giving the 1 peswa. The Saudis, then they will lift the oil and say, oh, today we lifted 1 million, not knowing that they have lifted 3 million. Because the calibration, you know, when the oil is coming from the ground, it will go through some meters. The Saudis hadn't gone to school. They couldn't even read those meters well at that time. But then they kept on and waited. They were not radical. They didn't push the foreign companies that were there to the extent that they will leave the place. They say, oh yeah, okay, it's all right, it's good. They will be giving us the 1% like that. So they started expanding until they had expanded massively. At that time, Saudi Arabia was also, setting up schools, sending their children. I want you to learn this and understand how some people have done it. Sending their children to school, to oil schools, engineering and all that. They were also learning and studying very hard. Then the 6th October 1973 war came. I was there. I was in Lebanon personally when the war started. The bombs were landing around me, even in my house. Then there was what they call the oil weapon. Oil producing countries like Libya, and then Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Iraq, Iran. They said, oh, we should have been able to support Egypt and Syria, who are Arab brothers, to fight you. But we don't have an army. You'll be surprised. You go to Dubai, and about 90% of their army is made up of Indians, not their nationals. When you go to Qatar, the population of Qataris is less than 1/3 the population of the country. That is the population of expats or expatriates, and foreigners is 2/3 that of the Qataris themselves. So when they made this oil weapon, they were not sending oil to all those who were supporting Israel at that time in 1973. So America was not getting oil. Within 2 weeks, Americans were lining up more than 3 miles to buy fuel. Then the price of fuel jumped up from about $2 or $3 to about $4 to $5. That is how come they had a windfall. The money then started coming. Then they started developing. And they told Aramco, my friend, this is your turn now. We are going to take this percentage, that percentage. Until now, Saudi Arabia controls a heavier percentage of the production of oil in Saudi Arabia. It's now in their hands. And they have the engineers now. They have the, specialists. They send people to everywhere. Go, if you are learning about oil, to PhD, go free. We'll pay for you and give you enough money. You can even hire a mansion and stay, but you study hard and come back. That is what they did. All what I'm telling you, we have written them. They are reports. They are the foreign ministers. They are there. The main foreign minister got bent, so maybe some of those reports are bent. But when you go to the Foreign Intelligence Service, the research department, these reports are there. And I have them writing many of them. They'll just throw them away because they don't know. So I'm saying that we are very ignorant about intelligence and security. We have a few months left for us to go for elections. And just imagine what is going on. Imagine what is going on. A whole lot of unbelievable things. But I know that our intelligence agencies are doing their best. I'm telling you, to tell government the real truth. You remember one time Honorable Kandapa, the Minister for National Security, he came out and told the government, look, or even the judiciary, the way you people are passing these judgments, it's so obvious. Anytime something's against the government, you always just, it's not correct. That will bring up problems. He said it, he told them. You see, and those, it is not even a lot of people who are directly in government, but the businessmen, those who are profiting from the MPP being in government, they are getting the contracts. Why should he say that? Why should he say that? Look, these are the criminals. They are terrorists because they don't care what happens. You don't care what happens because you don't want to think. When Ghanaians tell you that life is tough, pensioners are suffering, you promise to pay these nurses their allowance. You paid only 2 or 3 months. You have stopped. And all manner of things are just going on. Prices are going up so high. Prices, petrol, I think it's a daily thing right now. Petrol that was costing just 14 cedis, now it's almost 90 cedis per gallon. So what do we pensioners do? We can't walk far. You might have a car, a pensioner car, you know it's an old car too. It's always having problems. Then the petrol price is like this. And how much are pensioners paid? You are not, when they tell you, because you can see, there is something that I have gone through before, and I think it is God who made me to go through it so that when I'm talking, I talk with a lot of experience. There was one time I was abroad, and I came back to Ghana. Of course, I came with dollars. In 1976, Achampong was in power, and that was the height of Kalabule. Ghana was rough, it was tough, it was so difficult. Prices went off the roof. But I had come with dollars. And I was wondering, why are the people complaining like that? Why was I doing that? Because I had the money, I could buy the things. I used to wonder. I had friends who come, they say, son of man, today my children, they don't even have food to eat. And I said, go and take this, go and take that, go and take that. Our dogs were even eating all sorts of things. I don't even have, they were eating first class, corned beef. I'm telling you. One woman came and said, you these people, one day you will see. My wife was giving our dogs corned beef. You understand? So I know what is in the minds and heads of those who are benefiting from this regime, corruption galore, and all those things. They know when the ordinary man is talking, you think that he's a liar, but I am with them. And it is my job. I don't go around, and look, the pressure is very high. So government must be very, very, very careful these 4 or 5 months. So that Nana Akufo-Addo does not get problems, the problem that came in and his own father was overthrown by people. It must not happen. When Achampong came and overthrew Busia, Edward Akufo-Addo was the head of state. So let us be very careful. Please listen. Don't be obstinate. You listen. You may call even the generals and the commissioners of police and all that. They say, oh, Charlie, we are on top of the job. They don't know what their own other round people are feeling. Don't trust any security man. If you don't take time, the man who is your bodyguard, he will kill you. He will kill you, he will overthrow you. So be careful. Don't say, oh, I brought my tribesmen. They are in charge of mortar department, armored brigade and all those things. It doesn't, look, when a force is coming, and Ghanaians can generate negative forces. They become some spiritual energy. And when it's coming down, it is going to come down on the state, and there's nothing you can do about it. If somebody were analyzing things in, let's say, Kenya very well, and it is in Nigeria, don't sit there and say, oh, Ghana is different. Or the president will say, well, as for me, my term is over, I will leave. No, they are not talking of a term. Oh. Ghanaians and most Africans, they don't care if you stay for 100 years. Just develop the place, let them get jobs, then get food. Just develop the place. Don't divert everything to your family or your clan. That is the only thing. It is not about how long you will stay. It is not about how long you will stay. And it is not the number of houses you buy outside and put money outside. Because when these spiritual forces are coming, you won't know what will overthrow you. When Achampa was going to be overthrown, it was, look, I saw very senior army officers moving with students and telling them, come on, go and demonstrate, go and demonstrate. I'm telling you, it was sustained. So be careful, it's coming to Ghana. Then your attorney general is causing mess, total mess in this country. And our security services should sit down and analyze the situation and then tell the government, please do not bring any tension and anxiety into the security system in the country. Don't do that. Do not do that. This ambulance case, the Court of Appeal says, no. They have what and what. Quash the whole case. You say you are appealing. For what again? What are you appealing against? You see, there are forces. Those who are suffering, they are only crying in their room. I'm suffering. Hey, oh God, I'm suffering. I have no food. Oh Lord, I can't buy my medicine. Oh, look, it forms, it coagulates into a mighty spiritual force. When it's coming down, nobody can stand in its way. Nobody can stand in its way. So those who are in power, you must think like that. Finally, we went to the Court of Appeal. They say, oh, no. No, we have quashed the case. Just leave it like that. Then another case is coming. The Airbus case. The office of the special prosecutor has come out and said that, yes, the number one man is Mahama. But he has no business in this Airbus. Please don't say that, oh, if it is not like that, you, the attorney, you go and look, if you take this case as somebody who has been in the security business since 1969, we have to be careful. We have to be careful. If you push this case and you want to harass and humiliate Mahama, look, it will not be easy for Ghana. It won't be easy. And you know, when these things are starting, there will be an immediate cause. But there are remote causes. And when the gangs start coming up, you will be surprised that a lot of the people who you think that they are your supporters, they are not your supporters. They are not your supporters. Especially when you are in government and you see they are never your supporters. You want a crowd, then you come. I'm hungry. Then you give me 40 cedis. I will go. After that, the 40 cedis will finish. And I'll start complaining against you. You hire crowd, say, oh, look at our people. Oh, our boys are there. I was there. And I heard people, when NDC was about, oh, our boys will go and deal with them. And your boys. And that person was hiding somewhere, saying that they are boys. So let us be very careful. If you put these cases, something will happen and we'll be in big trouble. Something will happen, we'll be in big trouble. And I can see things like the month of October, September and October, we don't take time. We'll be in big trouble. And when we're in big trouble, the whole of Ghana will be pushed about 500 years back into the bush. Because this dollar that is exchanging for almost 60 cedis now will go to about 100 cedis per $1. I'm the one telling you. If you allow a group of criminals and unidentified persons to come and then destroy the country and maybe take over, We are finished. We are finished. We are finished because, look, all the systems will collapse. ECOWAS won't deal with you. AU won't deal with you. IMF won't deal with you. The West won't deal with you. The UN won't deal with you. Any such government. They will not. But I also tell you that when the youth come out and something is coagulated or coalition in the heavenly realm, I am the one telling you. If you don't know, I tried to explain this some time ago that within the intelligence and security services, we have what we call remote viewing. You see the Israeli Mossad, they have a special department for, assassinations. They will just go. For example, this man that they killed, they eliminated, they unalived in Turkey, in Iran. They only targeted his room and blasted it, his room, and killed him. Cool. How did they know he was there? They go to Syria, they kill people. They go to Lebanon. I was even in Lebanon. When they came there, they raided people around where I was staying. One time they came with a vehicle, it was like a bus. On top of it was something which they programmed. And when they left, they programmed it. They just came and parked it along the street. By the way, in Beirut, the time I was there, some 15 years ago, cars were parked on the street. So when they parked the thing on the street, and not knowing there were rockets inside a certain box on top of the car, and it had a mechanical device. After they programmed it like that, 30 minutes or 1 hour after they had already left the whole of Lebanon, because Lebanon and Israel is not far, this thing opened by itself and fired rockets into a Palestinian leader's house and killed him. I'm the one telling you. If you go to your internet and say in the 1970s, the Israelis came and parked a car, it will come out, you read it. I was there. And it was around the street where I was staying. I saw that with my eyes. I saw the history. And that was the work I was doing. So I'm telling our government, please slow down. This Japadia document has come out. It is a hell and a mess. Now, this ambulance case, you say, no. We are going back to the Supreme Court. When you go there, what do you want the Supreme Court to do? Have you got new information? In any case, you bring this case up again. Why don't you just stop and concentrate on your elections or your campaigns? Then this Bas matter. The Bas matter was even adjudicated on in Europe and America long before we heard of it. And when they were indicting people, they never indicted any Mahama. A name popped up, and they speculated that there was somebody who somehow had a filial relationship with President Mahama, who was then vice president or something. That was all what they said. Now we have another ambulance case that is boiling up, where some persons are said to have been given a lot of money to bring in ambulances and so much money for spare parts that in fact you could have even bought new ambulances. You see, the same case is just dancing around. People, I don't understand. Let us not do that. See, when you go in and do something, I think power is very dangerous. They say power corrupts. But that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Power is terrible. When somebody is in power and you talk, he is mad with you. I remember when I first came to WA, I was reading a magazine, a newspaper called The Chronicle. Not knowing, some people saw me reading it quickly. They went and told the regional minister, the deputy regional minister at the time, now this boy, he's not with us. The man he's MPP. He's not NDC. Then the minister asked why. He said, he reads opposition papers. I don't read opposition. I'm a security analyst. I read all paper. If you don't read the other man, so you yourself, you're NDC. If there's a paper against you, you don't read it. You are killing yourself. You should know what your opponent is holding against you. Then the day came that the Chronicle went and printed something against the same deputy regional minister. Now they were looking for me. They couldn't find that copy of the Chronicle. They said, go and see Bawa, he has been reading it. So when they came, I said, are you the same people who went and said that I was reading opposition papers? And I had to go look for it, send it to the deputy regional minister, who then was able to rebut, or refute the allegations in the paper. These are some of the simple things. But I do not think anybody in government today will be naive enough to think that they will definitely win the coming elections. I do not think it will be so. Because in every election, you must entertain this a certain percentage that it may not work the way you are thinking. And if the tables turn against you, all the things that you are doing, who is going to support you if a new government comes and then sort of subjects you to the measurement to which, the yardstick you have put in place right now? So don't let us look into the future. But they also say, God said, you see, that when he wants to destroy somebody, he first makes the person mad. So sometimes when we are telling, but well, that is my work for us, I'll write it. I've written so many things, people were even against me. You like saying this negative, you like writing negative. I say, there's nothing negative in what I've said. You just, okay, watch. The things came out exactly the way I said it. Then they ran back to me, Mr. Bawan, you better come and be with us. Look, I was an analyst for a certain particular government. That government lost power. Their opponents came to power. In the whole of Ghana, I was the only one they retained. Because when they looked at my reports, this is what I have seen. This is what I feel. Because as somebody who is in this job, I can even see things coming. I can see a lot of things coming. And in saying so, I am going to alert the security agencies to be up and doing and resource the security personnel around Hamele, Fielemoor, and then those border areas. Because if you don't take time, some tribes will go and bring, their kin from other places to come and try to, hold meetings to cause confusion there. I am the one telling you. So take it very seriously. Take it very seriously. I can just sit down and get a whole lot of things. I don't need to go anywhere. When I was the security coordinator for Upper West Region, I used to send reports, and then Accra they'll be so surprised. They will even sit down there and task me to do things in other regions. And I'll sit here and do the work for them. When they go, it's exactly what is there. So the new government that was there retained me for some time. Until somebody came and said that I was not a member of their party, they should remove me. And National Security told them, no, this man, look, please, this man, he works for Ghana. He doesn't work for NPP or NDC. And what he's saying, you better take it seriously. So the man forced, then they called me to Accra and asked me, what have you done to this regional minister in doing this? I said, well, I've done nothing. If he thinks I shouldn't be in the job, that is it. They collected my car. I went to Accra. By the time I came back in 2 weeks' time, the car was in cocoa sacks. Brand new pickup. It had accidents. And then so many other things followed, which I don't want to talk about. But what I'm saying is that government must be very mindful. The security system is very heated now. And you have also heard the NDC saying that this election that is coming, they will not go to court. Has it been analyzed? They will not go to court even if they lose. Have you analyzed it? What does it mean? Is there a code that if anybody is trying to use a certain way system, either electronic jamming of equipment, changing in the collation centers, you try to mess up with things, do they mean that if something like that is happening, they will not sit and watch? Let's analyze it, very nicely. Look, the NPP and the NDC, their position in the politics of Ghana is secured. The only thing that Ghanaians are against is that when they come, instead of them to complete, the work in place, the works in place of the previous government, they just abandon all of them to destroy them. Look at the case of the guinea fowls. Some people started, they are confirmed have flown to Burkina Faso. But there was no a confirm. That wasn't the format. That wasn't the format that was put in place. What happened was that the NDC was going to put up a hatchery or something. And this hatchery was, going to hatch, these guinea fowl eggs and then distribute them to families who were interested to raise these birds. That was what they were doing. So there was no place you go and find even 200 guinea fowls. And you said that they flew away and used it. Then you abandoned the project. The project was abandoned. The sugar factory abandoned. Thousands of farmers who were ready to make the sugar cane for the factory abandoned. Then people started putting in lies. Ambulances were brought, you abandon them. When they order your own ambulances, the price is even 100 times more than what the first ones that were bought. Things like this, they have a spiritual meaning. Do not interpret them in human terms. They have a spiritual meaning, and this spiritual meaning can come up and destroy you. But then let me say something. Ghana, in the ECOWAS region, come to think of it, we said we have an economic community of West African states. So this economic community, don't they know that the ECOWAS region produces the most gold in the whole of Africa? Even Ghana is number one. Mali produces a lot of gold, Mali. Burkina produces a lot of gold. Cote d'Ivoire produces gold. Niger produces gold. Almost all the countries. Ghana like this is blanketed with gold. Gold. Wherever you go, you are digging. There is gold in one state or the other there. That is why we have mines now. Azuma Resources has mines all the way up to all the way up to Hamele. They are looking prospective for gold everywhere. So the ECOWAS, why have they not come together and said, look, those countries that have gold, even Nigeria has some small gold, let us put up a central center to refine our own gold. They can't even achieve this. They are there telling countries that don't leave. Do not leave. Meanwhile, when they have terrorists warring them, these terrorists and so-called jihadists, they have been put there by the Western countries who want to make sure that there is this, destabilization, allowing them to go behind the back of the destabilization and then bring their troops with helicopters and all, and they will steal the uranium and the gold and go away with. That's what they have been doing. Why didn't ECOWAS send troops to go and support these people? And when we come again to talk about this security and intelligence consciousness and why the white man would laugh at us, it is this. One time, our president, Nana, was said to have gone to the US. And then he was with a number of officials. And he told them, look, there are Wagner's terrorists. Wagner terrorists are in Burkina. They are just near Ghana. Wagner terrorists. When I heard it, I was very sad. As a seasoned intelligence and security analyst, I was very sad. The president made me sad because their security agencies quickly said, look, Africa can never develop. Africa. Because if you have a head of state who will come and say that Wagner are that they are mercenaries, they only fight for money. It means the same president who has signed a defense agreement with America does not know that what he has signed, America is also bringing mercenaries. In that pact, it is put there that the Defense Department is going to bring mercenaries, but they put them as what? Defense contractors. Defense contractors to Ghana. And they can unleash them to do anything. When they land, don't search them. I mean, if they bring equipment, even nuclear bombs, they bring them, don't open it. You, the president, you can't go there. Your IGP can't go there. Your chief of defense staff can't go. What sort of country is that? There are military, installations and bases, even in Britain, America. But those laws do not apply outside of their barracks. They say if they kill a Ghanaian, that is after a black man, a Ghanaian, he's just like a goat. The American can come who judge him there. He shouldn't be arrested. When they are coming, they shouldn't come with passports. Even a private soldier can come with his ID. Meaning that the private soldier is even higher than their ambassador. The American ambassador comes with a passport, a diplomatic passport. But a private American soldier can come with only a small paper like this and go inside. And if he shoots you and kills you, that's all. You can't do anything. We signed it. So I know that the security analysts, they'll go back to the Pentagon and say, oh my God, Africa, they are finished. We will rule them. We will steal their things until thy kingdom come. Look, America went to Iraq, and then on the 16th of September, 2007, their defense contractors at that time, known as Blackwater, went and executed a number of Iraqis, and they murdered them and then wounded so many of them. Defense contractors. So when the case came up, not knowing that somebody was able to, film the whole episode, and when the American government and the army even covered it, oh no, it was just some small explosion and nobody died. It was not them. It was the Iraqis themselves who were trying to bomb the Americans, and their bomb landed and killed the people. But what the video showed was that these Blackwater people who have suddenly changed their name to Academy, and from Academy to Coriolis, so that they will hide themselves. When they showed in America, America got wild. Why do you go? You are killing the civilians. They put them to the courts and actually jailed 4 of them. When Trump came to power, he removed them. He removed them. And you, Ghana, you have signed this thing. That same thing is there. And then you go and say, oh, what they will say, so you Ghanaians, look at this. You say your people have gone to university, that and that and that. You don't know that when we put defense contractor inside the agreement, the defense contractor means that, these are mercenaries. You don't know that. You don't know. Anytime they have a dirty job, they will let the defense contractors go and do that. The mercenaries. They come with mercenaries who will kill you. So what am I saying? I'm saying that this gold mining thing, our people must sit down, and you know that if you are, Ghana is the leading producer of gold, producing about 4 million ounces a year, and then we are going to refine 400 kilos, every month or every day, and then and it isn't just even from the artisanal and then the small scale miners. What about the big miners? I mean, they are still selling that thing raw. What they are selling raw. And when you are going to mine here, you are going to, or refine here, you are going to prevent companies in Britain, Germany, France, and America from refining the same thing. So there are people who lose jobs. So the first thing is to sabotage you. Go and see the refinery, the petrol refinery in Nigeria. They are using the same Nigerians against Dangote. That Dangote oil is of poor quality, and that they want to monopolize the oil industry. He is not going to monopolize anything. Dangote has not said that any of those, because they import blended oil. You see, in Europe, you have to make fuel oil up to a certain quality. But what they will do is, they will make that good quality, then make another dirty one, then they will put them in ships, come to the high seas and blend them. They will mix them and make it dirty. For example, if the world is the copper content in fuel is 50 per 1 million, 50 whatever per million of sulfur, but they will go and bring this thing and it is 6,000. Something that should be 50, you make it 6,000. So when you drive your car, you are just polluting the atmosphere, you will spoil your car, and then you breathe this thing, you even die on top. These people have had a chokehold on the importation of fuel, dirty fuel, into Nigeria. So they have formed a cabal, and they have linked up with the foreign agencies, those producing the oil, that they shouldn't give Dangote that oil. And the president himself is sitting down. He can't issue a decree and say, sell that oil to Dangote. His own people, the same Nigerians, they want to set up a monopoly. How? What monopoly? How can that go? Meanwhile, a lot of other people, more than 5 companies, try to put up refineries. But as I told you, the West, they will sabotage it. So they are trying to sabotage Dangote. The Dangote should not sort of produce so much oil, should not stop them from getting crude oil and then making it bad oil and come and sell in Nigeria. To the extent that Fish, one of these companies that evaluates the credit worthiness of companies, has downgraded, the sort of standard, at which rating that Dangote had to go for loans outside. They have brought him down from AA to B+. They have brought him down. Meaning that all the people, they all work in sync. You may sit here and you say, oh, Fish did it. But it is not Fish. It is the intelligence agencies in America who are doing that. Because they want to bring down that refinery. They must bring it down. Like they brought your own Ghanaian one down. If it is not owned by them, it must be brought down. If Ghana makes crude oil, they must send it outside. So you may even see somebody who say he's a Ghanaian, he's in America, he's coming to buy that. But he has actually been recruited by the same Americans without his knowledge. They can do that. It's very easy. They will go through so many people. The person who will even come and suggest this to you, he doesn't even work in the intelligence agency. I'm telling you, even that person who will come and tell you will not know that it is the same CIA and the FBI who are doing that. That is their work. And these are the things that we do not know. So these are going to get some smart people and get them to analyze these things. It is not about saying that immediately you make it, you are going to make money, but to find out who are those who are going to sabotage it and how do they work on it. Can you even look at our gold mining industry? How we went, our own politicians went out, brought peasants, that is farmers from the villages of China. They brought Chanfan machines, and then they were polluting our own water. And our politicians who brought these things do not even own the company. It is the Chinese man who owns the company, pollutes the soil, and then destroys your cocoa, introduces a lot of chemicals into your cocoa, and this politician, all what he gets is 20,000 a week. And once he's getting this, then he gives 10,000 or 5,000 to the party. They are happy with it. How can the black man be so stupid? Well, all too soon, our time is up, and it's past 11, and another program is coming. So we are going to hand over. We are handing over to Musa Adams, and so he's coming to take over the next leg of the program. And next week, Friday, we'll be here to continue with our talk. And I hope whatever I've discussed with you, you just you can play it back and analyze it, and to know that there are forces outside that do not want us to do anything. Anything that you do, they'll come and destroy it. And they will destroy it without your knowledge. So Dangote, they are on top of him. This thing about a refinery of gold in Ghana. They are going to say, look, Burkina is doing the same. Mali may follow. Ivory Coast may follow. Guinea may follow. And so there are people who are going to lose jobs. So they will mount every effort to sabotage it. And even when we make this gold, they will go and spoil everything outside that the purity is not good. They will attack those who have made it. It is actually an Indian company. They will go to that Indian company, buy some of their gold, and go and say that no, the purity, because the purity is going to be 99.99%. They say no, oh, the purity is very bad. The refined gold in Ghana, it's not good. It's not good. You don't know them. We don't get experts, to do this type of job for you. I may not be. Look, I will use my intelligence security analysis to analyze the matter for you, and you will know and understand it. So it is not a question of we are going to get a lot. We should know that it will provoke them. They are not happy, and they will sabotage it. So that is why you should build the capacity of your intelligence agencies, both the external and internal, and resource them to be doing this type of thing. Instead of telling them to go and be arresting the politicians and then tracking, the phone calls of people. I mean, that's not acceptable. We will never develop with that type of thing. Thank you all. God bless you. Until we meet next Saturday, next Friday evening. My greeting to Iledi, Sufiani, Hamid Idrisu, Montari Alassan, and the rest of them. Hubert Dozier, how are you? Long time I haven't seen you. God bless all of you. Amen.